Hello and welcome to Big Condo Online. This is Mid-Morning Music, your weekly music podcast with me, Phil Beale. And today we're featuring an in-depth interview with Liverpool singer-songwriter and Big Condo Records recording artist Sophie Li. So welcome, Sophie. Yay! Come on, give it up, guys. Definitely. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask you a little bit about, start a conversation today with a little bit about where you come from as an artist and from a musical perspective, and what sort of things did you first listen to when you were growing up?
Oh God, this is embarrassing. I loved Taylor Swift, but I'm one of those people that's like, oh, as soon as someone gets popular, I'm like, oh, I don't like them anymore. They're too overrated now. So like when I was saying like I was listening to Taylor Swift, I was like 7. Like it was like, do you know, Love Story? Yeah. It was like when that stuff came out, and then she released like Red and like all the really poppy stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't like her now. So I moved on to Coldplay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then got obsessed with them for a bit, and then it's just been indie music since then. Yeah.
So is that how you class yourself as a performer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a rocky style as well as a singer-songwriter approach to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So who's current that you like listening to at the moment?
Are you onto Sam Fender?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you like Sam Fender. Yeah.
I love Sam Fender.
Yeah,
I really like local bands.
Right.
So
who like?
Like local Liverpool bands, so like the Night Cafe, Crawlers, people like that. Yeah. And anybody else off the label that you relate to? Love them all.
Absolutely.
To be honest though, everyone from the label, I'd say, has very different kind of styles of music, so we all get on really well as people. But if you're listening to like a certain genre, this label is like, there's so many different genres within it.
I couldn't agree more. That's absolutely right. Yeah. So when did you actually start creating yourself then?
I started writing songs when I was really little. Like again, this is so embarrassing. I was such a weird child, but like, you know, like when you're on the toilet and you're just bored, you've got nothing else to do, I'd just make up little songs, which I get, like you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, she's an artist at 10 years old, but like, properly writing songs probably about 11, 12.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, so I've always been musical.
Yeah.
But just like properly considering music as a career option, probably like 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start with guitar or piano, or what instrument to start with?
I actually started with keyboard, because my sister played keyboard.
Oh, right.
And I was a very competitive kid, and I was like, she can't be better than me. Like, I'm not letting that happen. So
is she really good now?
She's actually stopped. So she stopped for a little bit, and then I was like, now's my chance.
Yeah.
So I started learning like little Maroon 5 songs and stuff, and then
get out my way.
Yeah, exactly. And then I picked up ukulele in like high school, kind of like year 7, 8, and then went on to guitar.
Yeah.
And that just like, that was like my instrument. I was like, I really like guitar. It's probably as well listening to like Taylor Swift and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
That probably influenced that a lot as well.
Sure. And is that how you compose now, mainly on the guitar?
Yeah. It's like just me and my acoustic guitar in my bedroom and stuff. And then I'll develop that as like with my band as well. I'll develop it into like a sort of like rockier sound.
Fantastic, yeah. When was your first real live performance then, Sophie?
So we had a little high school band. It was kind of like a Beatles rip-off.
Oh, yeah.
So we did, that was literally just for like GCSEs though. Yeah. So we did one gig at the Cavern as like just like Beatles songs. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the first time you performed?
Yeah.
In the Cavern? Wow, that's amazing.
But like, I don't know if you'd count that as like a proper live performance, you know what I mean? That was literally just kind of, it was from like a music assessment, so.
But there was an audience though.
It was an audience, it was open to the public and stuff.
Ah, that's a live performance for me, that is. Absolutely,
yeah.
How did you feel with that? How did you feel when you'd done that?
I had a breakdown before the show.
Wow.
We were meant to be sound checking, and I just went to the back and cried. So it was nerve-wracking, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like, because I'm the sort of person that I won't worry about anything until it gets to that point.
Right.
And as soon as it gets to that point, I'm like, everything hits me at once.
Right,
so
yeah.
that's probably what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just got on stage and it was like nothing happened.
Yeah, that's amazing. So
was
you
quite
got rid of it before you hit the stage. That's really cool. Yeah, I think everybody's different on it, but I think everybody, no matter how old they are, how many performances they've done, everybody gets nervous before they go on, don't they? I think it's a very common thing. That. And some people say if you're not nervous, you're not going to do a good job. So that's probably true as well, isn't it? So today, then, you're going to perform a couple of songs for us.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, that's great. So what are you going to start with?
So I'm going to do a little cover. Everyone's favourite song, Wonderwall.
Fantastic.
But I'm gonna kind of like remix it, like mash up it into No Scrubs by TLC.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then we've got my single, which is Wish You Knew.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, Sophie Li and Wonderwall.
Woo!
Hey!
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And no, I don't want your number, no, I don't wanna give you mine, and no, I don't wanna meet you nowhere, no, don't want none of your time. I don't want no scrubs, a scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me, trying to holler at me.
So your first gig was in the Cavern. That was obviously a bit of a baptism of fire, I should think. Yeah. So where did it go from there?
So that Beatles band didn't last long, as you can imagine, especially being in Liverpool. So from there, it was just kind of like, because I was in year 11, which is like GCSEs then.
Yeah.
So obviously I had like all of my exams and stuff. Got into college, just kind of focused on that for a while. And then...
Was that Lipper in Liverpool, was it?
It wasn't, it was, do you know LMA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one.
Fabulous.
Little funny story about that. So I went to college there, but obviously like their rival school is Lipper, because they're both same industry and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm now at uni at Lipper, but, you know. So yeah, and then I got signed to Big Condo.
How did that come about then, Sophie?
April. Yeah.
How did that come about?
That was, I can't remember where I saw them. It was on Instagram somewhere, but I don't know how I actually found them. They were listening for demos and like artists to recruit and stuff, and so we just sent one in. They were like, yeah,
fabulous.
Go on.
Was it one of your own?
Yeah.
One of your own compositions? Yeah. So you came in for a tryout and took it from there. So fantastic.
God,
so
that was a bit scary actually, because I
tell
came
us about
in
that. Yeah.
for like a meeting with Roisy, and he just like sat me down. He was proper intense, which if you like, you know him, he's not like that at all. He was like, why would I want to take you on board then? Like, asking me questions like that. And I was like, just there, like a deer in the headlights. So I was like, I don't know. It's all these, like, questions. But, like, he was trying to see if I was the right fit and stuff. And, like, we got on. And he was like, yeah, you'll do fine. So...
Fabulous.
Went all right, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you release your first single?
So Foreign Silhouette was July 23rd of 2021, I think.
Last year,
I think
then,
it was 23rd, yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. How did that go for you?
It was really good, considering... So that was the single launch for that song. I hadn't done a gig since the Cavern.
Oh,
so
right, okay. Yeah.
that was, like, a good couple years.
Yeah.
Considering that, though, like, I sold out... It was in Outpost on Renshaw Street.
Right.
So we sold out that place, which was mad to me, because I was like, literally no one knows who I am. And I've somehow managed to sell out this venue for my first gig back. Like, it was weird. But it was like, it was really surreal, actually. It was like all of this stuff was happening at once. And it was like just going from 0 to 100 at once.
So how would you describe yourself as a writer? Are you quite prolific? Is it coming out of you all the time, or is it intermittent? How would you describe yourself as a writer?
So I'm quite weird. Like, I love music, obviously. But there goes, like, a few months that I just don't listen to music at all, apart from, like, say I'm walking through town and there's a tune on or something. I just won't listen to music at all. And it's not, like, a conscious choice. It's just how it happens.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I start listening to music again, sometimes I'll just get ideas, because obviously I'm being influenced by, like, everything I'm listening to. So some of my best songs have come from... when I've been, like, through quite a lot. So, like, when I'm in quite a bad place, or I'm going through a lot of, like, emotional stuff, that all comes out.
So your songs, you'd say, are quite autobiographical, would you say that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So your emotional state, of course, that has a big impact on your writing, doesn't it, in that way, yeah?
Yeah.
So how many songs do you think, have you got complete at the moment, would you say, that are, you know, ready, lined up and maybe ready to go? As we speak.
Yeah, another thing is I always have half-finished songs. I don't know if you know.
Tell me about it. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's always ideas there. Completed songs I've probably got, I'd say, about 10 that I'm happy with anyway.
Yeah.
They could always do with some improving, obviously. You know exactly what I mean.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like a painting, isn't it? When is it finished? So, somebody sometimes has to drag you off, don't they, and say, stop.
Like, it's done now, leave
ready.
it.
Yeah, that's right. So you got your second single coming up on January the 16th, then the release party or the launch party for that, yeah? So what's the new one about? What's it called, first of all, please?
So it's Wish You Knew.
Wish You Knew,
yeah.
okay, right, okay.
So Foreign Silhouette was like more of kind of like a dark, rocky one, kind of low-key rock one.
Yeah.
Wish You Knew's a lot more poppy, so kind of high energy. So hopefully it'll give people a bit of a second glance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just like rock.
Another facet.
Yeah.
But it's still with the band on the backing, is it, or is it you solo?
Yeah, it is.
Right, yeah, cool. Well, would you like to play that for us?
Yeah,
That'd be great. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you.
I just wish you knew exactly what you're doing to me, 'cause this pain is one of a kind. I just wish you knew. You've got me feeling less and less. Baby, you're so complicated, and I wish you all the best. But what you did, I hated, and I'm in two minds. Maybe I just need a little time. I just wish you knew exactly what you're doing to me, 'cause this pain is one of a kind. I just wish you knew. You say I'm better than the rest. You're making picking up for what you started, but I blame myself for all this mess. Sometimes I guess I wish we parted, and I'm in two minds. Maybe I just need a little time. I just wish you knew exactly what you're doing to me, 'cause this pain is one of a kind. I just wish you knew. I just wish you knew.
So yeah, so just going back to your launch party, let's just give another shout out about that. Excuse me. So it's the 16th of January at Jimmy's on Bold Street.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it? And tickets are available from Skiddle for £8 a pop, or from Jimmy's own website, or actually could contact yourself. Is that right, Sophie? For people who want a ticket, that's great. So how do you describe your songwriting process then? Is it something that you need to be in the zone for, or does it come to you out of thin air, or do you work on some chord sequences? Is it any particular one way, or?
It changes really. It's sometimes I'll start with like chords and just try and like muster something out of them. Sometimes it's melody, do you know what I mean? A lot of the time though, I do have an idea of what I want the song to be about in mind, so it always stems from that.
Like a story idea sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, fascinating, yeah. In a general sense, I mean, what's your take on the power of music? How would you describe that? The power of music.
Personally, or just in terms of
absolutely personally, yeah.
It's always been, it's like a language, I think. It's a language and an art. So, like, I'm sure people get what I'm saying, but I can't quite find the words for it. Whenever there's like a time that you can't talk to someone or nothing else will seem to fix something, it's always been music for me.
Fantastic, yeah. I love the Big Condo tagline, when words fail, music speaks. I think it's so eloquent, that is. And finally, I'm going to be asking every artist and every guest that comes on the show this last question, because we're in Liverpool, obviously.
Okay.
The question I'm going to ask everybody is, did the Beatles have an impact? Obviously, you've already mentioned you were in a Beatles kind of band. Was that doing covers, was it? Or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So how did they impact on you artistically and personally while you were growing up?
To be honest, while I was growing up, I didn't really know much about the Beatles.
Right.
So, not a lot, but obviously, culture-wise, like being from Liverpool, I think it's helped me quite a lot, because everyone's like, oh, the Beatles are from Liverpool, so it always puts kind of like a familiarity?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, she's from Liverpool, like, that's cool.
Fantastic, yeah. So thanks to Sophie, and wishing you the best of luck, obviously, with the single release.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing that, and hopefully get you some on the radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this has been Mid-Morning Music with me, Phil Beale, signing off until next week. And give us a like, give us a share, hit the bell, and we'll see you next week with our next recording artist. Thanks a lot. Take care now. Cheers.